If you want to change the world around you, you have to know how to give feedback. I can't read your mind, you have to tell me. But the problem with traditional feedback is it's been shown to be incredibly ineffective. That's because it happens in one direction, it's infrequent, and it's largely focused on outcomes from the past that we can't change. I'm going to give you 5 tools to put in your communication toolkit so you can make a difference today. If you give feedback that's too direct, they're just going to perceive it as a social threat. Their brain's going to become defensive. And if they become defensive, they're resistant to change. If you're too indirect, they're really not going to know why, how, or what you're asking them to do or change, or that feedback's even being provided. Data shows that only 26 of employees strongly agree that feedback they are getting improves their work, and 33% of the time, feedback actually leads to negative results. Let's fix that. Tip 1 is the micro yes, and this is used in sales and marketing all the time. It's basically the sales funnel. Like when we get an email from a company we've worked with before and they're having a sale. So we click on that email, and in the email they have a bunch of great pictures of their products and they're telling us that they're selling it for 60 to 90% off. Well, I'd be an idiot not to click on a sale that's 90% off. That's basically free at that point. So they get me to go to their website, and then from their website they get me to looking at products, and all of a sudden I have a pair of pants in my cart that I don't even plan on buying that day. If I walked up to you and said, hey, do you want to buy a pair of pants today? You probably say no. But you agreed to so many micro yeses that they got you to buy a pair of pants. Now let's apply this to giving feedback. We want to ask a very short but very important question prior to us giving feedback that goes something along the lines of, hey, I have some ideas for how we can improve this. Can I share them? And just by asking can I share them does 2 things. 1, it prompts their brain that they're about to receive feedback. And 2, it creates a moment of buy-in, giving them the choice to say yes or no. Tip 2 is to use a data point. List specifically what you saw or heard objectively. And we want to stay away from blur words. Blur words are those awkward gray zone words that mean different things to different people. So for example, instead of saying, you're not reliable, you can say, you said you would get the dishes done last night, and this morning they were still dirty. When you're listing a data point, you want to be direct. You want to focus on their behavior, but not necessarily their character attributes, right? I'm not going to call them a slob and unreliable because they didn't get the dishes done. I'm just going to objectively say, hey, this is what you said you would do, and you didn't do it. Tip 3, you need to show the impact of their behavior. List specifically how that affected you. I felt anxious rushing to get to class after having to clean the dishes to make breakfast. I'm sure you've heard of I statements over you statements. And in the data point tip, we used you statements. We focused on their behavior. We were direct. But in the impact, we need to provide I statements. Using I statements forces us to take a responsibility for our feelings and emotions without blaming other people for what we feel. And by focusing on the impact, you're going to provide a purpose or a why for that person to change. And tip 4 is to end on a question like, how do you see this? It provides them opportunity to give their feedback. This creates commitment instead of compliance. Compliance lasts for a day, but commitment is what's going to lead to sustainable change. My staff know that at the end of whatever I'm saying, I'm probably going to say, is that fair? Because I want to open up that two-way street. Maybe I have a wrong perception about their behavior. This gives them an opportunity to give feedback back to me. Tip 5 is to use pull feedback instead of push feedback. You shouldn't wait for feedback to just happen to you. You should be continually asking for it because that creates a culture of trust and improvement. And if you're constantly asking for feedback, you don't have to rely on other people that are probably bad at giving feedback. They're not going to give it to you frequently. It's going to be one direction. So ask for it. Ask for specific feedback. Creating this two-way street of conversation is imperative to creating change. Those tough conversations down the road, they don't happen unless you create that culture today. This applies to your coworkers, your friends, your family, your roommates, your staff. Everyone deserves feedback. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It greatly helps me by telling the YouTube algorithm that this deserves to be in front of more people so we can help more people. And if you're interested in personal, professional, or financial development, hit that subscribe button to become part of our community. I'm putting out 2 to 3 videos every single week geared towards giving you the tools to succeed in and after college. I'm proud of you, I love you, and I'll see you next time.